Okay, so I don't know how therapeutic these things need to be, but I'm autistic. Uh, I think highly. I don't know. I am autistic enough to be categorized as weird from anybody who speaks to me. But anyone I tell about my autism would say that, oh, you seem highly functional. And I like sometimes, I guess, when I get to know somebody, um, or maybe because when I mess up a conversation, I can feel like I said something insensitive. I need to like say I'm autistic, which is why I don't understand social gestures, social economics very well. Um, and yeah, I'm just like, I guess it's like a safety net at this point. But yeah, but I've always been kind of weird, and I've always been kind of weird, and I've always kind of just said, "You're just weird," and that's okay. And I was like, I was like, I'm a gamer, and that's fine. That's a category, and you're just weird, and yeah, that's true. And I would say, yeah, I'm just weird, and I kind of just acknowledged that I just was weird, and that's okay. And I have things that I'm interested in. I don't okay. And here's the thing that the reason why I'm making this video. It's I'm autistic, but I don't like sports. Like if you want to shut me out of a conversation, just start talking about sports, talking about baseball, talking about start using some weird vocabulary like quarterback or defensive lineman or wide receiver or pitch hitter. I've heard these words before. I don't know what they all mean, and I don't know what they all do. And basketball, I mean, I've played basketball. It's very easy, simple concept. You just put the ball in the hole and that's it. But apparently, I know there's like only 10 people can be on a team, and every single team member has like a position when they set up the defense when somebody comes in with the ball, and that's where you're supposed to be. And apparently, that's how you play the game every single time. You're supposed to be in your designated spot. It's like I thought the purpose of the game was to put the ball in the hole, not and make a rebound, and that's it. And whoever gets there first, gets the ball and throws it on the other side of the court. And yeah, I mean that's the rules of basketball. Oh, and no traveling, no I don't know what are the bunch of words, but yeah, but yeah, and I think I understand the rules of some of the games, baseball, football, tennis, um, but I don't know all of it, and I don't know as much as a sports fan, and I feel like a lot of people, like neurotypical people, they know so much about sports. Like they know the names of every single player, they know the positions that they play, they know the rules of the game, they know the techniques of pitching, the techniques of catching, the techniques of of hitting, and that's not even just the game itself, like how to play it and how to play it well, and how a player needs to do this, or how a player needs to do something with a bat, or do something with the ball, or do something with the racket, or the club, or the tool that helps you hit the ball in the hole, in whatever hole it needs to go into. Um, and I feel like a lot of people know a lot of things about a lot of sports, and I don't know any of that shit. And it's like I'm the one with the diagnosis. Uh, I'm the one with the autism diagnosis. But every neurotypical person has a has an underlying obsession with sports. that I just like, what the heck is your problem? Like, why do you need to know all these rules? Why do you need to know all these people? Why do you need to know, who won the games and who's what are the averages, and it's like, I'm like, that seems foreign to me. That seems obsessive to me. That seems wrong to me. But apparently, it's a normal thing for like every neurotypical thing. If somebody starts talking about sports, someone else is going to come in and start talking about the sports, and someone's going to start talking about sports, and then next thing you know, you have an entire club, and you might even have an entire business of all these people coming in and saying, "Oh, this is what's happening in my sports, and this is what's happening in this sports, and that's what's happening in this sports, and then this sports. Oh, this sports over here. So you talk about this guy playing sports. He is so good at playing sports. He does this sport so well, and this is what he does in sports. And when he plays his sport, man, he plays his sport very well. Like sports, I mean, sports is just sports, and he just sports everywhere. And everywhere he just sports. And when he sports out there, man, he sports. And he sports out there, and he plays his sport, and he just sports, and he has an average of sports, and he scores this much points when he sports. And man, those sports, man, they just sports, crazy sports. It's like crazy. Those sports, man, they like they go crazy, and they go crazy. I mean, they literally like go crazy when the sports people sport. I mean, when the sports people win their sports, or when the sports people lose their sports, they go crazy for the sports. And I'm just like, why are you acting so crazy? Like you're having like a you're having an autistic shutdown about your sports team not doing the sports the way that you think that they should do the sports. And I think it's because the statistics, the statistics, the techniques, the players, what his strengths and weaknesses are. And when they don't do the sports like you think that they should do the sports, man, you just shut down sometimes, or you just melt down sometimes. And it's crazy. And I think it's crazy. And you go out to the sports places, and you dress up in this crazy sports clothes, and you put on this crazy sports clothes and the crazy sports makeup, and you go out there and you scream like a crazy person around all the people who play sports. And I'm just like, that's crazy behavior. What the hell is your problem? Like, that's crazy. That's crazy behavior. I'm just like, man, I don't understand it. I was like, I'm autistic, and I'm watching an entire stadium of people showing autistic traits, and apparently it's normal. It's just normal. It's normal to get upset about about your team losing. It's normal to just go in a frenzy and scream off top of your lungs and drive speed limits, drive at 50 miles an hour down a narrow alleyway and just scream off the top of your lungs. That's normal, apparently. And I'm just like, what are you, autistic? What are you, having a shutdown? What are you, having a meltdown? It's crazy. And I'm just like, okay, well, I'm just over here playing my video games. I'm playing Final Fantasy VII for the fourth time. I'm playing, leveling up a new World of Warcraft character. I'm playing Pokemon uh, with a new team. And yeah, I'm just like, I mean, I loved Pokemon when I was a teenager, and I loved World of Warcraft when I was an adult. And I loved writing when I loved D&D when I was in my 30s and my son was born. And I know everything about that thing. And it's one of those interests that I have kind of escalated toward. Martial arts too. Actually, in all actuality, I have felt the sports, I guess, adrenaline um, when I watched, because I like boxing, and when I watched Tyson Fury fight Deontay Wilder for the second time, and and Deontay Wilder just knocked him down And he got back up, but I was like, when he knocked him down, I got excited, like, holy shit, he won, he won, he won, he finally knocked him down, but he got back up, and yeah, that was yeah, I guess that's you getting ramped up, and so I'm not completely foreign to the feeling of your sports team like being happy that they're winning because I really wanted Deontay Wilder to win. Uh, but yeah, he didn't win, and I don't think he's gonna win. But you know, Tyson Fury did get beat eventually. But yeah, I just don't get it sometimes. Like, but he's like, you do this among all everything. You know, my brother and other people, I ask him about. I was like, when I started talking about boxing, and they just kind of just say, well, I don't really follow boxing. It's like, but then they start talking about some other sports or baseball or football or golf or I don't think I mean you can get into tennis, but I don't I don't know. I mean, I think because I'm a martial artist and eventually I became a boxer. I watched a lot of professional boxers box because I felt like I need to learn their techniques in order to do well. And in martial arts, in self defense, and I feel like it works. I mean, I haven't been in a serious street brawl um, since I've been studying boxing, but I definitely walk around with a sense of stronger confidence, uh, way more than I did when I studied Taekwondo. Because when I was Taekwondo, I was very very skinny, and the few people I did have scraps with, it was like I could land like maybe one or two kicks, and it was like I mean, they were more impressed than they were upset. I remember I nailed this guy with this sitting hook kick, and I was like, "Whoa, that was crazy." And I was like, "Did I get you?" And I was like, "Yeah, you got me right in the face, but holy shit!" Uh, I was like, and what happened after that was like I basically got grappled and I got put in an armbar, and I was like, "You give up?" And I was like, "Yeah, I give up," because yeah, it hurt, and we were upset, but that first kick to the face was just like I'm not even upset. I'm just like impressed. And I was like, and when I tried to escalate, and I was like, "I can kick your ass." I was in Korea. Yeah, he went into grapple. I tried to get it again. The guy got me by around the. He grappled me, brought me to the ground, put me in an arm, and I knew a few things about grappling too, but he was just I don't know more technical than I was, and yeah, it's like so when I tapped out, that was the end, and I just went home. And yeah, I say I lost the fight, and I say yeah, I'd say I lost the fight. But yeah, I was like I haven't really gotten in any street brawls, unfortunately, for better or for worse. I won't try to say it, unfortunately. But yeah, I was like sports. I was like the the don't want to call it the special interest of every neurotypical person is just it's like it's crazy to me. It's crazy to me that sports and bars and TVs and pay per views and ads. I'm just like, and sometimes I'm not saying I've never watched a sports show. I mean, I've never watched a sports game, and I'm like, it's mostly just beer and really bad food on the commercials. Because some people stay for the commercials too, and I'm just like, yeah, and that's one of the weird thing too is like I watch boxing, and it's like I learned boxing, but I can't really remember any commercials I was watching during boxing. Um, but I do remember the commercials that were playing during sports because I guess to me that was the most significant things about watching sports. So yeah, I was just like when I would watch boxing, I would watch their technique and I would watch the replays and I would imitate those things myself and I'd do it on the bag or do it on the speed bag, or I would do it during sparring. So those things seemed useful to me. It made sense to know everything about Muhammad Ali, to know everything about George Foreman, or um, Angelo Dundee, his coach, or um, Don King, or Mike Tyson, or Sugar Ray, or Rocky Marciano, or Sonny Liston, bad guy. It made sense to watch all these people, watch what they do, watch how they trained, and basically try to emulate that. Uh, and it worked. And it was like it worked to inspire because I used to be strictly Taekwondo, but but it was like every place I went to was either like Muay Thai and Jiu Jitsu, background. The UFC was like everywhere. So any place I went, was like, well, we teach grappling and we teach Muay Thai. And as far as striking is concerned, like most of those gyms, like I feel like unless it unless the it says unless the because you can go to like martial arts gyms and they're just so much more functional. It's like martial arts gyms are just they have they have a ring, they have an octagon, they have weights, they have they have mats, they have medicine balls, they have weird ways of like equipment. And when you go to a regular martial arts club, you go to somewhere that says karate, you might see one punching bag, and you'd see a room with mirrors, and that's it. You go to taekwondo, same thing. You see a room with mirrors. You go to kung fu, room with mirrors. Maybe they have some of those wooden dummy things. Uh, but when you go to a martial arts gym, you have everything. You have weights, you have mirrors, you have a ring, you have medicine balls, you have all diversified ways of just training. And 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 you go there and you can learn three different martial arts. You can learn jiu-jitsu, you can learn boxing, you can learn jiu-jitsu, you can learn Krav Maga. There's a few people who've learned that, and I'm just like, yeah, it just makes sense to just spend it. Oh yeah, and the cost sometimes are even cheaper. Like those martial arts gyms, they're cheaper sometimes, and you don't even have to. They have a schedule. You come to class. They have like four classes in the morning. And no, they have like three classes in the morning and four classes at night. And it's like, and you have like when you go to a martial arts class, it's like they have three or four classes, and you can definitely tell that this is for kids. Like because the 4 o'clock class is like a bunch of little kids, and the second class is like for high schools, and maybe they might have one that's a little more adult, and yeah, I mean, and the masters generally know like the fundamentals of what they teach, and there's nothing wrong with knowing the fundamentals, but don't I go to a few places and then there's like an ego problem. And you can't practice your martial arts unless the master's there. And you have to bow in, of course. But when you go to a a martial arts gym that teaches Muay Thai or Jiu Jitsu, you don't even have to take the class. You can just use the punching bag. You can practice Taekwondo. You can practice karate. You can practice Jiu Jitsu. You can practice Kung Fu. It doesn't matter. They don't care. And they don't really care about your rank or where you stand or whether you're leading class. There's one person leading class and you just do what he says. And it's just like, that is just so much easier. But the thing about it is, my background was in Taekwondo. So if I ever wanted to take a striking class, because I thought I would go in there, they would sit there and say, "You are kicking wrong." You are not doing it right. And I felt like learning a standing roundhouse kick was like the difference between throwing a jab and throwing a haymaker. And that's because that's what they want you to do when you learn Muay Thai. They want you to do these big throwaway kicks, and and it works um, when you're trying to knock your opponent out. But sometimes you just want those little jabs, like the snap. So you just hit with your foot, and that's kind of what Taekwondo is, and that's kind of like boom, boom, and you're doing fly, you're doing like those quick front and back, but yeah, it's like whenever I fight a Muay Thai fighter, whenever I used to fight a Muay Thai fighter, it was like they knew what I was about, the way I kicked, and they knew that if they stepped up forward, if they walked forward constantly, I would I would use up all my energy throwing these kicks that kind of back away, and since my kicks didn't really have the force because I didn't know how to kick forcefully, they kind of made example like this is how you don't want to kick, and this is why, because I can just keep walking forward, and you're on the retreat. You never push me back, and when you do try to push me back with like a push kick, guess what? I'm still grounded because I'm always grounded, and yeah, that's the problem you're going to keep running into if you do kind of taekwondo and you try to fight a Muay Thai fighter. Unless you're able to do maneuvers up in the air and just knock them out. Uh, and that's another weird thing. It's like when I would be fighting, it would be like it's like don't go full force. But whenever they were trying to teach me to stop using taekwondo, they would go full force, and it was frustrating. It was like really frustrating. But I stubbornly stayed. And it wasn't until Muhammad Ali died to where I kept just getting really tired to everyone always telling me, just stop doing it, stop doing it. I was like, you know what? Since Muhammad Ali just passed away, I'm just going to start focusing on my hands because my feet are fine. And I'm not going to unlearn how I kick. I don't want to unlearn how I kick. I think I kick just fine. But I don't know what to do with these hands. And because Taekwondo taught me a few like a few straight kicks, a few straight punches. Kick 1, 2, 3 to the abdomen, to the chin. A few chops. But yeah, Taekwondo, as far as hand techniques are concerned, uh, it's. I mean, it's like it's not something they would do in their modern tournaments. Like they would never tell you that you can win a point by chopping someone in the neck, but that's a taekwondo technique, and or gouging the eyes, and it's like that's what you're supposed to do with your hands, and but it's like those are not things that they do in tournaments, and yeah, I had a body that functioned for taekwondo sparring, but I had something happen to me. Yeah, Muhammad Ali died. I just said, I'm not gonna be practicing Muay Thai anymore. I'm just gonna focus on boxing. And and that's where this kind of obsession with boxing kind of came from. It's like I needed to know what to do with my hands. And when I started studying Muhammad Ali because he just passed away, um, I started adopting his stance because I realized right then and there that I can still use Taekwondo, but I can use it from Muhammad Ali's fighting stance. It wasn't exactly, I mean, he never threw any kicks, but the way he moved and the way he bounced and the way he moved to left and right and the way he like tricked, it was like, this is the missing piece. And this is how you beat out Muay Thai fighters. So when I started getting really good at Muhammad Ali's like outboxing style, the next time I fought, a Muay Thai fighter, and I was like I was no longer doing this bladed stance where I was bouncing. I was like my hand, my left hand was dangling and my right hand was up here, and I was throwing kicks, and that was another weird thing with sparring. It was like uh, I would be sparring, but I would be like backing up like that, like what Hamali used to do, and yeah, I was beating out a few Muay Thai fighters, and they would kick me, and I was like, oh, you want to play that game? Okay, guess what? Boom, boom. Like that's a double kick right to both sides here. That's one to your side and one to your head. And yeah, well, no, we can kick it, like, and be like, in the body language, it was like, okay, we can kick now. And so here's me kicking. What you saw me do was punching, and I can kind of combine both because these hands know what to do now. So it felt like really important for me to learn how to use my hands, and it was a very good time when I figured out like how to, you know, what to do with my hands, and frankly, I I guess there was a big sense of confidence that kind of came up to where it was like I I can defend myself now. Like it wasn't like when I was a master of Taekwondo. It was like I can knock this guy out if I can get one kick on him, if I can kick him, and I was like legitimately, I don't know. I still haven't gotten to a serious alteration with anyone, but for some reason, it's like when I realized that my weapons were right next to my face, right next to my body. It was like way more. Um, it was way more secure. That's the only word I can think of. When I knew that my weapons were right here, it was like I wasn't afraid so much. It was like I didn't have to think about trying to land that perfect kick or get in the right stance. If it started with like someone got in my face, if someone got in my chest, I wasn't thinking, how do I back up away and get a kick in? I was thinking, I can stand right here and still fight. I can fight him inside of a phone booth and knock you out. So, and that's just what boxing basically just changed my whole perspective. Like, yeah, go ahead. But because yeah, and that was another weird thing. It was like it was like boxing. I mean, I don't know how to grapple, and I don't want to know how to grapple because I don't want to get into police officers because I know that's how they are trained. They are, as a security guard for a long time. I know for a fact that that police officers they're not really trained to strike you. They're just trained to grab and get you to submit so they can arrest you and they can put you in handcuffs. That's that's what they do, and that means so much less paper. If they if police officers strike you, oh, that is paperwork. That is that's like it's not even like, oh, they're going, oh, things are about to go down, oh, things are going to get crazy. No, if they strike you for any reason and there's a bruise and your hand matches their face where they were bruised, that is paperwork, and that is you just hating your job, and you can explain, you're like, why did you strike that person? And it's like, well, because blah blah blah. Why didn't you put him in submission and get him in handcuffs? Yeah. So I don't do grappling. I don't want to learn grappling because I feel like I need police to have that advantage over me. But if I was stricken with something, I'm like, I would I probably would strike back because it's like I'd be looking at him like, why the hell did you just do that? You're what's gonna, well, one, things are gonna escalate now, and two, um you have to when you take me to a police station, uh, someone's gonna have to do something on my face or my body, and they're gonna know it was you. So why? So yeah, I guess I do respect police officers, but yeah, it's like I know how they're trained, and they're not supposed to strike you. it's a it's it's not like it's illegal for them to strike, but it's like unconventional. Like, why would you strike me? That's stupid. Like, one, I know how to strike, and two, man, you just made your heart, you made your life a lot harder. Like, why would you do that? So so yeah, I'm just like, yeah, that's one of the reasons why I don't really study grappling very much. I mean, I know a few things from the army, but I think that only works for people who don't know how to grapple. And yeah, so I guess I've been walking around with a sense of a stronger sense of confidence because of the boxing, and that's good. And oh yeah, and I don't know if you just figured this out by now, but boxing used to be one of those things that I was obsessed with, and which is why I probably was talking about it for 15 minutes longer than I should have. Which, hey, just proves I'm autistic, by the way. Um, but yeah, I just I don't get sports. I don't understand sports. I mean, it has no functional. It has no functions of your life except to coexist socially with everyone else who's neurotypical. Neuro, I think the word is like normal typical, neurotypical, regular people. Um, then I guess it works for you. Yeah, obsess over sports stars all you want. I guess that's great. But I don't get it. And in the sense of sports, it feels like everyone's autistic, and I just don't have it. I just never got into it because it never felt like it's really it really wasn't useful to me. I mean, boxing was useful to me. Boxing changed my life. But yeah, I'm just like in this weird space where I guess what I've been assessing over is like AI, and I'm trying to get into computer programming, but unfortunately, all I've been doing fucking worthless. I unfortunately, yeah, I've been getting into legal stuff about the family court. If you couldn't already tell about from my last few posts, my obsession, my narrow the thing about it is I don't even want to know this shit. I don't want to know about. I don't want to know about family court. I just want to see my son. But the thing about it is my narrow interest is needed to go into these levels of obsession so I can talk to my son. And unfortunately, I'm in the courtroom and I'm like telling the judges all these laws that my ex-wife keeps breaking, and it's like, and I keep getting ignored. And I was like, yeah, and I was like, there's a part of me that's like, yeah, you're ignoring me just like every other judge, because that's what family court judges do. They ignore every law that a woman can make because you know because 92% of the prison population are men. So because you don't want to put a woman in jail, you want to put a man in jail. You want to put a man to work, which is why you're making me go through all these hoops. You're making me go to counseling. You're making me go to therapy. You're making me be supervised. You are making me, you know, you're basically saying if you don't pay your ransom, you don't get to see your son. When it comes down to it, it's like I need to pay for counseling, I need to pay for therapy, I need to pay for supervision, and I probably because I'm disabled, I need to pay for a lawyer. But lawyers don't exist for poor people. So you know, I've had to make it my obsession these days about trying to do what's in the best interest of my son. And unfortunately, I've been sitting there. I've been giving like legal advice to every single one of my Uber riders, like this, like because when you divorce, the assets separate. It's like a small business whenever you get married, And if she doesn't contribute anything, then when she decides to divorce, the assets split in half. And those are like things I didn't know before I got married. And they have helped me become a smarter person, I think. But this is not something I've ever wanted to really learn until I got divorced. And yeah, and it's sad to me because I could have been obsessing over writing. I could have been obsessing over D&D. I could have been obsessing over anything. But my ex-wife just had to have an affair and had to push legal shit on me, had to give the judge every single diagnosis that she took when I applied, because she kept all my paperwork when we applied for disability. She kept copies of everything and gave it to the judge and said, "Look at all this paperwork. He's a rapist. He's an abuser." And yeah, that's literally what it says. I've been repeatedly raping her, and she never called the police because she was afraid that I would escalate things and I would get hurt by the police. And I don't know if you noticed, but I have no intentions of hurting police. I intentionally made my fighting style so I wouldn't hurt police as long as they, you know, act accordance to the law. I mean, I don't think nobody's ever, well, no police officer has ever pulled a gun on me. But yeah, I'm just like, I don't even. I know it. I know how family court works now. And it's just like I don't want to know this, but I do. It's like one of those weird things. It's like because I do like my son. I do love my son. I do want to see my son. But man, this game is rigged. It's rigged hard if you're a man. And I'm trying to go in there and show the judge, it's like this is 3 counts of lying under oath. This is 14 counts of falsifying evidence. This is 2 counts of police reports that were made falsely. There's the evidence that the information that she wrote on the police reports were false. This is 25 years of prison if you decided to enforce the law to the letter. But the judge doesn't want to do that. The judge doesn't want to do that. All she cares about, all the judge seems to care about, is did you go to counseling? Did you go to therapy? Are you being supervised? What did the supervisor say? Did you pay him enough money? Did you pay your $400? Did you pay your supervision? Because it's $80 an hour to see my son for 4 hours. So it's 80, yeah. So it comes down to like in $360 plus tax. So it comes to like 380, which is like roughly like $400. So I always just say around $400. But yeah, it's like I need to pay someone $400 just to babysit me so I can see my son for 4 hours, and it fucking sucks. And the thing about it is, I'm also trying to get the VA because the judge also wants me to go to therapy, but therapy costs an atrocious amount of money as well. Counseling costs an atrocious amount of money as well, and it's very uncomfortable. When you go to domestic violence counseling, it's literally like it's literally a step. It's literally like a ex-husband club. Uh, Point being is I am autistic. Crazy. I got crazy. I think I've done enough legal jargon bullshit on my channel to make it a legal channel or make it an anti-family court channel, but I'm just like in this weird place where it's like I just want to talk about my autism, and I didn't want to bring up legal stuff, but unfortunately it happened again. I just went down on a tangent about what all this stuff is. And yeah, I guess some people think I'm intellectual. I'm a pretty smart guy when it comes to stuff like that. Because I tell my writers, sometimes it's just like, yeah, this is how things work. And I even talked to some young kids who were just graduating high school, and they're like, yeah, this is what it is, and this is what you're doing when you're getting married. So be careful, because it's not a game it's not a game that has your faith in. It doesn't have. It's not a contract that has God in mind. It's not. When whoever made marriage the way it is now was not thinking about God. They were thinking about money. And yeah, I think I was just, as far as legal concerns are concerned, because I want to talk about autism, and I don't know if all these things that I've been talking about just proved my point that hey, Eric Burns is autistic, and yeah, I guess I'll leave it at that. Oh yeah, and these things are unedited, so I guess you get the genuine. But I did stay talking almost the whole time, which is good. You're supposed to do that, I think.